You got nowhere else to go, man. It's all good.
Sweet.
Well, I know this is a much different fight week than any other fight week, but you're kind of back in the routine again, back in the field. What does it feel like being back?
It feels good. It feels really good. I was hungry. I've been hungry. It's that break I had was exactly what I needed. It lit a fire in me. It brought the enjoyment and the happiness back in what I do. Because a lot of people don't realize that the fight itself is 15 to 25 minutes. It's every other day. So training, every hour you spend in the gym, that's the rest of life. And that's what I had to come to grips with. I had to start enjoying again. And having that break and just being away from the game and away from the training, away from the gyms, it just lit that fire, reinvigorated me.
Nice. Was there like a day or a moment that you were like sitting at home and you're like, I'm ready to get back in there? Like what clicked that you're like, okay, now's the time?
It was kind of like it's like a craving. It was like a craving because I was keeping myself away from the gyms, the thoughts of fighting. Because like I said, when I left the game, I didn't leave the game, but like when I took a step away, they asked like when I come back. I was like, I don't know, let's see. And then it started off like a craving. It just started like getting worse and worse and worse. And then there reached a point where I was like, nah, I have to get back to work. This is what I was meant to do. This is what I was put on this planet to do. I'm sure of it. And then I started speaking to the team and telling them how I feel, the problems that I had that led me here in the first place, and just that open dialogue and communication. We worked out the best system, and here I am, happy as Larry.
That's also what I was going to ask you. So is there like a change of approach now that like, okay, here's what I got to do to make sure that never happens to me again. This is the way we're going to handle things.
Honestly, the open dialogue, the open communications is just massive. Being able to tell them how I'm feeling and get feedback like I'm not feeling this session or why I'm not feeling this session. Like just to be able to talk like that is just massive. It's done wonders for me.
That's nice. The matchup itself, coming back, Till, what do you think about stylistically on paper? I think people are pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to be a fun one when they gave you the name?
Yeah, it should be a cracker. We're both going to go out there, going to headhunt. Should be fun.
Yeah. Everybody's getting used to fighting in front of no crowd, right?
Yeah.
But for you especially, last time out there was 57,000 people,
yeah.
right? Now zero. What's the difference in that type of situation?
Mate, that doesn't bother me too much. The thing is, I'm just happy to be fighting overseas. I've fought a lot in Australia, and I love fighting there. All my fans and friends are there, but I've done it a lot. And there's a lot of things that surround it. A lot of media obligations, a lot of hype building, and nothing gets bigger than the last one, and the way it came crashing down. You know what I mean? So just to be able to experience, as well as a huge draw for me with this career, if you would, is that I got to travel the world. For work, I got to visit exciting places. I got to fight in front of different crowds. I got to experience a side of life people can't. And, granted, it's a little restricted right now, but it's good. It's really good. This is why I signed up. I wanted to come to places like Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome. You can definitely see your happiness back, man, which is great to see. What do you think? I mean, where do you go from here? Are you thinking about that? Because obviously, your status in the sport, I think everybody views you as a top contender. But are you thinking about championships and titles, or would you rather not have to think about that stuff?
Yeah, well, I'm not worrying about it at all, because a huge thing for me is just that I'm just enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the sport. I'm enjoying the gym, because people view me as a top contender because I am a top contender, and I'm one of the best in the world. And I'm still only 29. I think a lot of people forget that as well. So I have enough time to walk away from the game and just train skill sets and come back a later time. I have honestly, the world is my oyster where I'm sitting. And I guess my biggest thing is, I just want to enjoy it and earn a living. And that's it. And as a team and as a family, we're doing it together. So, got to be happy with that.
Rob, do you think because you had that burnout before, if you started feeling like that again, you'd be able to spot it way in advance?
100%. I think that's the thing with those sort of, I don't know what you'd call it, but those things like burnout and overworking and those mental stresses, if you would. They happen generally pretty bad the first time, but then you're aware of it. If you deal with it properly, you're aware of it. You're aware of the symptoms leading up to it. It becomes it's very hard for it to happen again.
You're obviously known as one of the hardest workers, especially in training in the sport. Do you think perhaps that environment with the guys you're working with, you can't really turn around to them and be like, guys, I need like a slow week this week. Do you think that perhaps contributed to it?
Yeah, maybe. I think certainly that the way I was working before, like just the lack of open dialogue, I guess, may have been a symptom. But it's hard to say because the roller coaster I've been on in the last 5 years has been crazy. The changes and the ups and the downs and just it's not just the fights I've won, which there were some. It's the lifestyle changes that occurred with it as well. So I had 3 kids in the last 5 years. On top of that, I've moved house 4 times. My lifestyle has changed from when I started to where I am today, drastically. I went from a housing commission kid to someone owning their own house. It's massive things like that. And like I said, the fight is 15 to 25 minutes. It's everywhere else you have to deal with that you have to live with.
Yeah, I remember reading a story. There's like some dunes you used to run up, right? You were running up on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Have you cut out the Christmas Day training now?
Yeah, definitely. I will never train on Christmas Day again. Trust me.
Darren Till was a guy you wanted to fight. I remember when he beat Kelvin.
Yeah.
You were saying, I've got to fight that guy. I love that. What exactly is it about him that you want to fight him for?
Just looks fun. On paper, like we just look good. He goes out there head hunting. He's got good striking. I go out there head hunting. I got good striking. It just looks like a fun fight.
Can you confirm you did more training for this than just chips and dips?
Maybe. Nah, honestly, I was in the gym when I wrote that because I don't trust him and he doesn't trust me. As cordial as we've been, and it's good to be like that because I think you should be cordial. Like I think we should set role models for other people. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. You know what I mean? After he said chips and dips, I trained twice as hard. You know what I mean? It's like, and I hope he believes me. I hope he didn't train because I trained my absolute ass off, and I'm gonna come in there very, very good, man.
He said that fighters traditionally say, they want to fight the best version of the opponent. He's like, no, I'd rather fight the worst Robert Whittaker. That'd be way easier.
I hope he breaks his leg on the way in, and then I'll fight him with a broken leg.
Yeah.
Robert, how much more dangerous are you now that you've had the time off? You're refreshed, motivated.
I'd like to think I was always dangerous. You know what I mean? It's but I'm just happy. I'm alive again. The fire for the sport has been lit. I'm enjoying all the different angles of it. I'm enjoying media week, the media. I'm enjoying the weight cut. I'm enjoying my time in isolation. That's a massive change. And, just feeling this way means that I'm going to go in that octagon, happy as Larry, and I'm just going to get to work. I'm just going to have fun. Because that's what drew me to this sport, was that I enjoyed the sport. I enjoyed the combat aspect of the game. And, I can't wait till Sunday.
When was the last time you felt this way, do you think? This excited, this pumped for a fight?
A few years. Who knows? Hard to pinpoint it because it falls back on that whole thing where you don't really realise what's happening until it's too late.
What was the best thing for you taking that time off in terms of getting away from the fight game and everything? What was the best thing?
Made significant progress in Elder Scrolls Online. So I have several capped tunes that I'm having fun running with. What else? I know pumped heaps of bench. That was fun. Hit a new PB. So there's that. And honestly, I spend tons of time with the family. Just waking up every day, seeing them, going to bed every day, doing the little things. Because obviously when you're in fight camp and you're preparing for everything, I'm always tired. I'm away. I'm trying. Like I can't be a part of those little things like taking the kids to daycare, picking them up from daycare, putting them to sleep, making their peanut butter sandwiches for lunch. To be able to do all those little things meant the world to me. I guess that's also the silver lining with this whole pandemic is that I've just been able to spend so much time with my family.
You've mentioned that part of the job you love is traveling the road, but with this pandemic, the whole thing, when you go back, you won't be able to see them right away.
Yeah.
Does that make it harder for you?
There's two parts to this. The first part is I'm gutted that I'm not going to be able to see my family for the 2 weeks. Because now, after this, it's going to be close to a month. I haven't seen my kids and my wife, which will eat me inside. Obviously, everyone knows I'm a big family man. It'll kill me. The second part is I'm so damn excited to spend every day playing video games and ordering whatever I want on room service. Because I'm not prepared for fight, not cutting weight, there's nothing. So, yeah, it's like a love-hate thing. I'm pretty sure I was built for quarantine. I was made for this.
You've mentioned that the past few months were tough for you for a lot of reasons. How hard was it to see on social media a lot of rumors about your daughter's health?
So when I went on my break and everything, I kind of went away from social media. So I didn't realize until it had all come out and everything. And I was like, honestly, the only thing it did more than anything is just open my eyes that media's full of shit. No offense, you guys are the good ones, but.
That's fair.
Hey, you take the good with the bad, right?
What would you say is your biggest weapon against Darren Till, and what do you think is the biggest threat that Till brings to the table?
His biggest threat is his left hand. He knows that as well. And the thing is, that's why I think I match up so much better against him than he does with me. Because my biggest threat, there's too many of them. I have so many dangerous shots. I'm so creative. I have so many angles I can exploit. He's got his left hand. That's all he's got. Like everything else I got covered. But he runs that down the pipe, and he's so well at using it. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's used it on a dozen guys, and he's knocked him out. So I've got to be aware of that. I've got to give it the respect. But I've got so many angles he has to be aware of.
And do you have a pick in Adesanya against Costa fight? How do you think this fight goes?
Who can say? I think Adesanya has the skill set necessary to beat Costa. He's very technical. He's very good. He's a good fighter. Don't like him very much, but he's a good fighter. But Costa's dangerous. He's so explosive. He's got mad cardio and he hits like a truck. Look at the size of him. I'm sure that does something. I'm sure that has something to do with why he keeps hurting people. They say size doesn't matter. Look at the size of him. You fight him then and tell me it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let's find out.
Do you like Israel less now than you did before you fought?
Now, to be honest, I don't like anybody in the middleweight division. Like, that's it. That's it. Like, if you're in the middleweight division, I don't really like you. But I don't dislike you either. So don't get that confused. Don't dislike, don't like. Neutral.
You have to have not a hate, but you have to have something against the guys you're fighting?
No, not at all. I just don't want to be friends with them. Who wants to punch on with their friends? And I know I've heard of the fighters that do punch on their teammates. You guys are fucking cracked. Like, you can't punch on with your mate. You go to dinner with your friend and you got to punch on with him next week. Like, no way. Like, that's stupid. Don't call yourself friends. No disrespect. My opinion. Sorry. I'm entitled to that at least.
Cool. Good stuff, bro. I appreciate it.
Good?
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Robert.